Good morning or good afternoon. Happy Halloween. It says I have a connection available. I don't know. I've been having Wi-Fi issues lately, so I apologize if I'm in and out. I'm gonna call my Wi-Fi provider and beg for mercy. Um, anyway, I feel like I'm stalling because I'm a little bit nervous about bringing up this topic because it can be like a button pusher. And I was gonna say I definitely don't mean it to be, but maybe I do because it's pushed some of my own buttons. And if you are someone who belongs to a religion like Christianity, and I love Jesus, but I'm not a conservative Christian. But don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying that like Jesus can't save your soul, but he can't live your life. And I think a lot of times we wait for people or things or methods to come and save us a lot of times. I know for me, I started selling CBD oil, and I think CBD oil is like awesome. It's done some really cool stuff for me, but it's not like the white knight, right? It can't make everything in my life better. That's my job, right? My job is to live my life and not look for something out there to save me. I mean, yes, you can be helped by God, you can be helped by Jesus, you can be helped by saints, you can be helped by CBD oil, you can be helped by ayahuasca, you can be helped by so many things. But nothing is going to come and save you. Things can come and support you, people can come and support you, plants and medicines and all that can come and support you. But here's the thing, if you're waiting to find that thing out there that's going to save you, that white knight that's going to come and pull you out of that tower that you're sitting in, and then life is going to be wonderful, it's just not how life works. And I've caught myself doing this actually recently. And so that's why I'm bringing it up. Like, I thought I had worked through all that, and I knew that the divine spark was in me, and I get intuition about things that I need to do out in the world and how to, live my life. That's the purpose of being in a physical body, right? Is to experience life. So if we sit around and wait for something or someone to save us, we are missing out. And it's like never ever gonna happen. Even I think people who win the lotteries, this has been going on because there was a big lottery win in the United States lately. Someone won like $1 billion or almost $1 billion. That person happened to buy their ticket like a few miles from my house, and they work in a business like right next to where our heating and air conditioning company is. And here's the funny thing, right? Like I guess it's not a funny thing. It's a thing that happens a lot. This is a story, and I don't know if it's true, but they went into work, they clocked in, and they clocked out and said, "I'm done," and left. And obviously that's fine if you don't love that job, right? But that person, were they saved by the money? No, because they still don't know what they love to do, more than likely, right? They still have to find that thing. Because for me, like doing daily alchemy, if I want $1 billion, I am still gonna do it because it's still like the thing that lights me up, that fulfills me, that brings me joy, right? And if you find that, then you don't need $1 billion. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down, right? Nobody would. Maybe some of us would. You don't need $1 billion. You don't need necessarily a special oil or a drug or a person to make you happy, because you get to do that for yourself. And honestly, I don't think anybody else can fully do that for us. And once we make that decision that like, hey, the buck stops here in my life. Like, for me to go through life and experience it and enjoy it is my job. I'm responsible. And yes, I may get help from people, from plants, from God, from universe, from whatever. That's fine. But it has to kind of start with a decision from you. It's like, if people think that one thing is going to save them, like if we're looking at the CBD oil, it's awesome. It like lowers my anxiety a lot. But I know some people who think, well, like CBD didn't make me totally healthy. And I'm like, yeah, but you're sitting on the couch eating a tub of ice cream every day. It's not a miracle pill. It can help, but it's not going to do everything for you. Just like people who work with ancestors, or people who even just pray, like, send me this, send me that to God, or ask their ancestors to help them, or people who work with, other spiritual elements. They can only do so much for you, right? You still have to do your part. You have to like tune in, listen to your intuition, and do your part. And why wouldn't you want to, right? Because that's what makes you feel good, right? Following your passions. And I know a lot of us, we deal with bills and all this day to day. And so we're like, well, I don't have time for my passions. And we put them on the back burner. And that's what puts you in a position where if you win the lottery, you're checking out of your job. But my challenge to you would be, I know you may have a job that you aren't able to quit right now, that you don't hate, but can you bring your passion to that job? Or can you spend an hour a day doing something that fulfills you, that lights you up? Because that's as close as we get to a white knight and a savior in this life. And I caught myself doing this. I was looking at a retreat and I was like, this retreat is going to be the thing. And I was like looking at their marketing and they were talking about like, I got my miracle. And I was like, oh yeah, that would be so awesome to experience this. I know some people who went to this retreat and it's like, it's life-changing. And I'm not going to say that it might not be life-changing and it might just like really open up things, but you have to bring that to the table. You actually have to set those intentions and do that work and everything. So I was like, I'm gonna put this retreat on the back burner, because I realized that I was looking at it thinking this retreat is going to be the thing that really launches me into the next level. And I realized that no, that's not gonna be the thing. I'm the thing, right? Because without you, without me fully participating in our lives, there's only so much that anybody else can do for us. There really is. And like in my queen class, I did a whole training on like being the energy of the queen versus being the energy of the princess, because the buck stops with the queen. The princess, she's taken care of and she's looked out for and stuff. And you might like that thought, but then when you realize a lot of times the princess doesn't make her own choices. She doesn't have that level of freedom that we want and that level of fulfillment. And in the fairy tale, she sits in the castle and she waits to get rescued. Don't wait to get rescued, right? Rescue yourself. Be there for yourself. And here's the funny thing that happens when you make a decision that you're going to live a life that fulfills you, and you're going to listen to your passions, and you're going to do those things that you're called to do. It might be big things, it might be little things. I recently got I do a lot of meditation and things. And so like, if I get a thought, this person needs this book, right? So I went to the shelf and put the book in the mail and sent it. That's like me being, of service in the world, listening to my intuition and listening to my gut. I also actually had like this thing happen to me recently that I talked about in the Be Magic group, but I haven't even shared this part of it because I was saying like something happened, like I didn't get something I wanted. I felt kind of about it, and I kind of blamed another person. I was like, they're not saving me from my error. I don't know what to do. And then, everything got solved. But I also just recently found out, and I'll probably share about it in there, but it's kind of personal and weird. So I don't share about it on my public page as much for anybody to see. But I realized that actually there's something I'm being called to do for someone else who I could help in that situation. But I'm not going to be the white knight for them, even though I'm, like energetically being called to help someone. And that's fine. Like we all help each other, and God can help us, universe can help us, spirit can help us, ancestors can help us, plant medicine, CBD, anything can help us. But we have to do our part. We have to step up and decide, I had a teacher who said, you know, like life dances with people on the dance floor. So you have to get up off the couch and get on the dance floor. And you can't be standing around the edge of the dance floor, right? Looking at everybody else and making fun of how they're dancing. You actually have to get out there and dance. That's what saves you. That's what gives you a life that at the end of your life, you're like, yeah, I lived full out. I experienced ups and downs and highs and lows and joy, but I did some stuff that felt really good. And I feel, you know, like I think that's what we all want, is to get to the end of our lives and feel like we lived fully, we contributed, we made a difference to people, whether it been one person or millions of people. And you can't do that if you're waiting for someone else or something else to save you. So if you have anything in your life and you're like, if I could make enough money to do XYZ, then my life would be good. Or if I could meet this person, life would be good. Or if I could go on this retreat, I'm going to next level up. Those things all might happen, but you have to put in your part. You can't wait for someone else to save you. You have to, like, you know, meet them, at least meet them in the middle, right? I know that there are people who go on retreats and then they don't get the result, right? Because they thought the retreat was going to do it for them. They thought that, you know, the plant medicine at the retreat was going to do it for them, or they thought that just taking this pill. I mean, how does that work for people, especially in the US? I don't know as much for people out of the US, but how many of people do you see who are on all these pills that are supposed to make them get healthy, and they just get sicker and sicker because they don't do the things that they know that will make their body feel good? And I'm a big believer that, like, diet and exercise and all that stuff can look can look different for everybody. Like what nourishes my body might not be what nourishes your body, but you kind of know if you're actually taking care of yourself, if you're eating things that make you specifically feel good, if you're doing things with your body like getting up and moving and walking or going to the gym or doing yoga or something that makes you feel good. And if you're not doing that and you think a doctor and a pill is going to come in and save you, look around, it doesn't work. And it doesn't work for being fulfilled and happy either. You cannot wait for somebody else to do that for you. And so if you're like me and you catch yourself thinking, this thing is going to be the thing, remember, you are the thing. You are. You have a reason and purpose for being here, or else you wouldn't be here. And I think that's to live full out and realize that you have the magic inside you. So yeah, and you don't have to be other people's white knight or savior either. But the best thing, the absolute best thing that you can do for anybody else is to live your best life, be your own savior, and then they'll see that and they'll pick up on that, and that can be a great inspiration to other people around you. So, like, it's not to say that you can't help people out. Just, you know I have family members who have drug addiction problems and just all kinds of different things. You can't make that go away for them, but you can be an inspiration to them, and you can also help them in the physical realm. I'm not ever saying that. I'm just saying that, like, we each, when we're adults, obviously have to take responsibility for our own lives and not wait for another person or a substance or a class or anything to save us. They can add to it the experiences of our life, and they can support us and they can help us. But ultimately, it comes down to us. And that seems scary, but it's really a good thing, because when you have responsibility, you also have freedom, and you also have that ability to make changes and design a life that you love. So yeah, that's my spiel for today. I've been doing a lot of talking and working and meditating on this in the Queen class that I'm doing, the Unleash Your Queen. And it has started, so there is content in there. but I am not doing the first live until tomorrow, so you still have time to jump in and not miss any of the live. And then I'm going to close the doors very soon after the first live training. So I'm going to put a little comment in here to tell you a little bit more about that class, possibly, if I can find it. Haha, I did find it. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Does it work? Maybe. Let's see. Bump, bump, bump. It did. All right, guys. Go out there and be your own white knight today. All right. Big hugs.